First up, guys, Thor Ragnarok opening weekend for the United States. Now, last time we were on the main show, we were making some predictions. Tristan said 130, Mitch 140, I said 120, and I was right there with 121 to 22. Can't remember what the official was, but pretty damn huge, like, take for Thor,
For a Thor
considering
movie,
this
yeah.
is Thor beating out Spider-Man and like Wonder Woman.
I think it's domestically, I think it's 121.
Wow.
I I gotta ask though, is this because of the? I don't. I'm gonna say the other Thor movies generally everybody thinks they're bad, right? Let's
Yeah.
agree on that. Let's
Yep.
generally they're not the best. Right.
I mean,
Okay, they're not the best. They're okay.
they're not everyone's favorites. I wouldn't
Yeah.
say either are horrifically bad.
It's
Yeah.
true. For some reason, they're at the bottom two of my like Marvel films.
I mean,
but
the Dark Horse, the bottom of mine.
I want to say like, is it because it's the Marvel brand? It's definitely not because it's Thor, or maybe Taika Waititi just made a really good movie and the trailer showed it.
I
Like
think it's a combination.
yeah, because
of
it's
a-
definitely not Thor though. It's definitely not like let's
But
go see
is
Thor
it-
because
is it not Thor? Because you think we haven't had a Thor movie since Avengers 2.
Yeah.
maybe that okay. It's the whole like we haven't seen him in a while, so let's go.
I'd also
see
like
what's
to
up.
put out the idea that a large part of this, I feel, is the Hulk. Like,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. He's in the big time in the trailers, and that they're gonna fight. That is one of the big things people wanted to see. People do love a fight, as we all know. So that I'd agree. It is, but he's also more in the movie than we'll save that for the spoiler cast. But he's more in it than I thought he would be, and I think that is probably a good part for like people going
Well,
to see it.
I mean, the way I look at this is like Thor Ragnarok was just 2 months ago. They were like, well, it'll maybe make 100 million, but there's no way it's going to top that. With 120 passing 400, million worldwide in just like a week and a half, that's pretty damn impressive for a Thor movie. And
It's made more than the first one.
Yeah.
It's weekend. It's crazy.
I mean, I just put it up to that. It's a good movie. I put it up to that. I think usually good movies will show. Sometimes there's the exceptions, like the big blockbusters. They're not necessarily that good story wise. I think this is just a good movie, and it shows like
I
people
wonder
want to go
how
see it.
much the 99%, 100% of Rotten Tomatoes factored in.
I would
You
say
don't
quite
see that very often, and the fact that it was that high for a Thor movie,
yeah.
I wonder if that contributed. People are like, "What the fuck? I got to see this now."
It's interesting though, because usually before I'd see the whole Rotten Tomato score, which let's be honest, that's not the whole like. It's not what people think it is, so stop thinking.
Yeah, of course
we,
not.
we say, we say,
Well, I
we say
mean,
quotes.
in
Yeah.
trailers, movies are now putting the Rotten Tomatoes
Yeah,
score in
that,
there.
that's what I was gonna say. Like, I didn't see that in a Thor trailer. To be fair, didn't see a
They
trailer
only
for the
do
first
they only
one.
do it once. It's like certified fresh, and every advert you'll see it now, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so okay, that's what I'm
So I
waiting.
think,
Okay,
I
I'm
think
waiting
if
for
you go on Marvel's YouTube channel, they got like a 10 out of 10 Goldblum trailer.
that. But I mean, you're right. Once it's certified fresh, we'll probably see it on like the TV spots.
I mean,
Like
it's
certified
certified-
fresh, come see it.
certified fresh now.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
okay.
certified fresh before it came out in the States.
Well, I didn't see it like anywhere that it's
Honestly,
sort of, like,
they're not really pushing it as much as some other movies, which
Yeah.
kind of tells me that maybe they were kind of blindsided by this, because I don't think they maybe anticipated this movie to be better reviewed and have a higher score than Guardians 2. Like, it's really weird, and when you look at what it's doing in box office, quite clearly it's going to have legs. How much Justice League can take out of it, we'll discuss that in a couple weeks, but it's surprising people left and right, which I've known, like, when I went, obviously I go on the, premieres and everything, so I'm sitting there, and I was just kind of, as I do always, I like to go and just talk to some random people that are there. I'm just like, hey, have you heard anything about this? People were very aware of this movie's box office take overseas, and they were very aware of the accolades it's getting online. Like, this was probably the one movie where this was the most I've talked to people that were like, yeah, the reviews are insane for this, that people knew. And I was like, is this just because it's Thor and everybody's shocked?
I think it is.
Or like is something happening that I'm missing? Like someone didn't pass a memo that now it's like, oh, everybody cares about box office and reviews. I guess I don't know.
I mean,
I bet that's the reason why you're not seeing that much of a marketing push, because they don't need to push it that much.
word of mouth, right?
As that word of mouth and that buzz. Like you don't need to keep pushing people's faces because it's already in their face.
It's free. It's free for somebody saying, "Hey, go check out Thor. It's a really good movie. Let's go check it out." That's free. You don't need to pay that person anything. They paid you. You know what I mean? So, but I like to think it is part of this new kind of culture in social media where box office and knowing what the reviews are overtaking a lot of certain things now, and everybody wants to know certain things. It's part of that whole the curtain is being lifted as well. So I don't know. I don't think it's just Thor. I think that's just part of the culture now that everybody wants to know about the reviews in the box office weekend because everybody wants to be in the know in that sense. Yep. But, I mean, I'm just still saying it's just a good movie, man. It's just really a good movie.
It's the thing that got me is, my dad loves the Guardians movies in the MCU. He's loved a couple of the, like, Captain Americas, and he's not generally into Thor. He hasn't liked those. But even he was like, man, those commercials look like it's more Guardians of the Galaxy. And he loves those two movies. I was like, oh, yeah, it totally has that vibe. He was like, all right, I'll go see that. I was like, well, that was an easy conviction.
I was going to say, that's blatantly another factor for it. Like, it has that Guardians pull.
Yep.
It's like, this is like something a bit different. It's all wacky in space, yeah.
Tell me if this should be saved for the spoiler cast later or whatnot. The whole aspect of some of what we saw in the trailer actually wasn't in the movie.
Save it for the spoiler.
Yeah, I think that'll be a big point of discussion for that. But yeah, I mean, we'll talk more about Thor Ragnarok and box office in the next couple book the tickets because there's going to be a lot to talk about. I feel it's
gonna Justice League come out. I mean, and then we'll see how it matches up. I'm sure every superhero movie always lands as number one. That's just kind
of course.
Unless you're fantastic, and then
you're right. I forgot about it. I mean, is that a superhero movie? Like,
I mean, it has superheroes in it.
Is that a movie?
I mean, kind of.
No, it was.
It was filmed.
I like to think it's not a movie. I always say that movie isn't a movie. So
that was a thing that happened, much like
it's
various
a moving
other.
picture.
Yeah.